Hello, Michael, and hello, everybody.
Hi, Linda. Hi, everybody.
So today I'm going to interview Michael Leditzky, who actually wears a lot of hats. He is the COO Global, the COO of SolidCAM GmbH, and also the COO of SolidCAM Additive. So, but before I start the interview, I want to give you our listeners a few facts about SolidCAM GmbH. It was founded in 1994, and today it's our biggest organization worldwide with sales in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. We have 7 offices throughout Germany with a staff of 80 and over 4,000 customers. Another fascinating fact is that SolidCAM GmbH has a subscription rate of over 80%, which is no small feat. So, Michael, you started your personal journey in the manufacturing world as an apprentice in a machine shop. Today, as I said, you're the COO of SolidCAM GmbH and SolidCAM Global and SolidCAM Additive in Germany. This, how do you, can you share some insights into this fascinating journey?
Well, yeah, I would say that the journey was real fascinating. And I do have to say that from the time where I started my career in a machine shop, I fell in love with machining. And this is actually what keeps me awake at night, because I do still think that so many companies out there are losing money. They are losing money because they are not using proper technology. They are not using SolidCAM in order to manufacture their parts. But let's go through this journey, how I described it a little bit more. So back in my machine shop times, actually, we used a different CAM system. And I was never really happy with it. It was really like the most basic thing you can imagine. And then on the exhibition, I think it was the AMB exhibition back in the time, we stumbled across SolidCAM because we knew about it, we heard about it. So we gave SolidCAM like a few of our parts. Of course, you usually choose the most complex parts. And what should I say? It was not a problem for SolidCAM back in the time to really get those parts done. We had a huge machine shop with a lot of machines, I would say about 25 to 30 machines. I can't remember. It's more than 20 years ago. But we had like really big machines with more than 2 meters of range. And we made quite complex parts. So when we adopted SolidCAM then, and the people came from SolidCAM and they wrote the post processors for us, I was thinking to myself, hey, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? So I tried at night at home to change the post processors by myself. Well, it didn't work out that well, but I actually understood that this is something that I really like. So I started playing and I started, calling the support. We managed to make the post processors exactly as I wanted them for our machines. And this was kind of the start where I was thinking, hey, I think that's my future. That's my passion. I want to write post processors and get more into the CAM environment. And this is where I started. I mean, I started then as a post processor technician in SolidCAM. I think 1.5 years later, I got the role of being the technical team manager of the post processor team. And then, all the new developments we did at SolidCAM, which was a lot connected to multi-channel complex multi-machines. It was right in the beginning where SolidCAM were really able to support those machines. And so I grew with the software. I grew with our customers to the point where I can say understanding the needs of the customer is something we do at SolidCAM and we are still doing every day. And this is, kind of my journey into SolidCAM and everything else what happened inside SolidCAM, I would say is the same thing. I mean, when I'm doing a job, I'm doing it like with 150% of my power and I do like it and I really love it. And what is the most interesting thing for me is that in SolidCAM that when people are working really hard, they are getting to a point where they're going to be promoted. And this is why we are having most of our people coming directly from the machine shop because they are the ones who really understand what our customers need.
Absolutely, to have hands-on experience in the machine shop.
Exactly.
That's the best thing. So let me ask you a question. When you first joined SolidCAM, you said that you would go into a lot of machine shops, and there were a lot of CNC machines that you knew SolidCAM could not tackle. What is your experience when you walk into a machine shop today, whether it's milling, advanced mill turner, or even Swiss?
Yeah, it's kind of my most liked story that I always tell because I do think it represents what we achieved in the last decade. So back in the time when we wrote the first post processors for the complex machine, I was walking through machine shop and I was just thinking to myself, oh my God, what a complex machine. I think we are not able to do it. And then we started to support them via post-processors. And we figured out really fast that it's better for us and better for the customer if we add more functionality in the software. And we did it. And our development team, I still thank you that you guys did it so fast, because today there is almost no machine anymore that we cannot support. And it doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, 3 channels. It doesn't matter if it's a Swiss type machine. These are all machines that we can natively support without making huge tricks in post processors. So this is something that I'm really proud of, that today, and I'm still visiting customers really frequently, actually all over the world. And I can say to myself and then think back at the time where I was a bit scared, and I was like, yeah, cool, we can support now all those machines. And this is something which I think is truly amazing. And if we have a look in the global CAM market, there are not a lot of companies in the world who can support those machines as good as we can.
You know, your passion for SolidCAM, it always comes out. And I remember a few years ago, we were together, me, you, and Emil, and we were sitting having lunch. And then you got up to do something, and Emil looked at me and he said, Michael is going to rise very fast, very far in SolidCAM. And you did it. You really did it. You rose to be what you are today. So let me ask you something. What do you see for the future of SolidCAM GmbH? What do you think about the additive field? Do you think this hybrid solution will be like a competitive edge over our other CAM systems?
Well, let's break it down a bit, because I do think these are separate topics. First of all, that the time when I really realized that I'm getting ahead in SolidCAM, I was of course really proud. But I also always felt this kind of, okay, Michael, these are big footsteps you are stepping in. So, and I think this attitude that you have is very important. That you always try to look at the things that you do critically and try to understand what you could do better. And I think this is something we in SolidCAM GmbH are doing quite good. Whenever we are approaching a customer, also really complex customers, really challenging customers, we are trying to explain to them, hey, what we think you are doing is a bit complex, and we will try together with you to create a solution that fits you. And I think this is something that SolidCAM GmbH is doing so well, that customers understood that we are not just selling something and then disappear, but we're actually guiding them, and we are really taking their hand to a point where they can use SolidCAM and they can use it and have fun with it. Because a software itself, when it's not easy to use and when it's complex, it's not fun and people will not use it. So of course, it's always for those people who have fun at work, they are getting ahead. And so, yeah, I do think this is kind of the secret behind SolidCAM GmbH, is that our customers really trust us, and they know exactly what we can do and what we cannot do. And if you are open to the customers and just tell them, hey, look, yes, we are good and this, but the other thing we cannot do well, but we will find a solution with you. I think that's the winning goal at the end.
Absolutely. It builds trust with
Exactly,
with
yeah.
the customers, right?
Yeah, so you ask also about additive. Additive is, of course, a different topic, but it correlates with what we are doing at SolidCAM,
I
because
think we're like pioneers in this field, no?
yes, I mean, the additive itself, all the metal printing, and let's start to talk about metal printing itself. The momentum it got in the last years was pretty awesome and pretty interesting. But a lot of companies just sold the printers to customers, and that's it. No service, no support whatsoever. So
Okay.
there are a lot of printers out there that are just collecting dust. And this is something that Emil pretty soon realized that we can change. So we did this partnership with Desktop Metal, and they have this amazing technology, which is the shop system, is a binder jetting system. That means this is the first real metal printing system that can do medium mass production. And these medium-sized batches is something that our CNC customers actually can use to make their parts faster. And the let's say the technological edge that we can give to them is the combination between our experience that we have in CNC, and that's quite a big experience, and this new technology that they don't actually really know. So what we are doing right at the moment is we are going to our customers, we are collecting sorts and parts, and then we are kind of doing benchmarks. We are telling them, hey, look, this part could be done in an additive way, but you always need CNC to finish those parts. And this correlation between additive and CNC is something unique on the market. This is something we can push, and this is something we can really do. So my role of also being the CEO of SolidCAM Additive is actually putting those two companies together. And this is something amazing, and our customers really like it so far. So yes, we are doing pretty good in additive as well.
Would you say that this is the future, the combination of additive and CNC manufacturing?
Yes, I mean, there are parts you will machine for the next 50 years because those are easy parts and you can machine them in seconds, actually. You will never print them. But there are parts who have really complex geometries, also some cooling channel inside them. So really parts that you actually can machine, but it's really hard, or you cannot machine at all. And this combination will be, the future of the whole manufacturing industry because when the designers of those parts really understand what additive can do and how they could combine additive and CNC finishing, I think we are getting a new kind of parts family that are specifically for this new technology. And this is so amazing to see that the market is adopting and that those customers really, they fell in love with it and they was like, yeah, can we print that? Yeah, of course, we can try it. And this is really the amazing thing behind it, that there is such a great momentum. And this is, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Imagine. Wow, so exciting times ahead.
Definitely, yes.
So tell me something, with a staff of 80 and multiple branches, effective communication must be challenging. How do you ensure this effective communication between your team members?
Yeah, look, and this is something that I'm repeating all the time. It's not me who is responsible for GmbH, it's all people at GmbH. So this whole ecosystem that we built here in Germany with the different branches and our bench managers and all those people who are working every day really hard, this is like the combination which makes it work because we are communicating. It doesn't matter what, via WhatsApp, via Teams, via phone. It doesn't matter. We are just staying in constant contact. And this makes sure that we are all updated, that we are on the same page of what's happening. But yes, I mean, we went through difficult times, the last, COVID scenario that we had. But it actually helped us to realize that, for example, a podcast can be also done online, which what we are doing right in the moment.
Right.
So this push was really important for Germany, I would say for Europe, that we understood, yeah, it's cool to see each other face to face, but sometimes it's just easier to make a Teams meeting. And this is something we learned during the pandemic. And a lot of our customers also adapted pretty quickly because there was no other way. So we did, demos online, we did, post-processor trainings online and so on. So it was quite interesting time to see this change in a company. But until today, I mean, we are traveling usually to visit all our branches pretty frequently. And we have a great management team. We have great branch managers. We have great people in every department who really are fun to work with. And I'm really proud of them.
Absolutely. So listen, I remember once you told me back in the time you went into a machine shop and they were looking at different software, different CAM systems. And what was the crucial point? How did they decide to go for SolidCAM?
Well, I can say this from my personal experience back in the time when we chose for SolidCAM. It was actually pretty simple. As a customer, and when you're comparing CAM systems, you don't really understand in the first second what kind of the difference is. For us, obviously, it was the combination of SolidWorks and SolidCAM because we had SolidWorks already in our machine shop. But then, when you were talking to those people who tried to sell it to you, we felt this kind of special connection to the SolidCAM people because they were machinists as well. So we trusted them. And then we did the first test cuts on the machine. And what should I say? It just worked. And other companies, they struggled. So we gave them the same task. They couldn't deliver. So at the end, it was this overall package of being SolidCAM completely integrated in SolidWorks, having those specialists really actually living 1 hour from our manufacturing plant back in the time. And of course, that the technology that SolidCAM offered even more than a decade ago was a cutting edge. That means it was so easy to use. I mean, I used it even before I had training. And this is something which kind of surprised me because the old CAM system we used was so crazy complex. It was like, doing rocket science, and this just worked. And this is what actually made for us the let's say the decision really easy to buy SolidCAM back in the time. And until today, they are using it. So
Listen, I mean, the ease of use of SolidCAM has always been a great advantage for it. I mean, even the Titans, they say now
Mhm.
that Donnie was
Mhm.
saying from the Titans that he learned the system over the weekend. I mean,
Yeah,
this
I
is
mean,
really incredible.
when you know how to use a CAM system in general, when you used a CAM system before, when you know how to use SolidWorks, it's pretty simple to adapt to SolidCAM. But I'm always quite honest, as you know, when you have to operate a complex machine, of course you need a bit of training. Of course you need to get your post processors right. So yes, it's very easy to use, but you have to understand how to use it. And when you understood it, it's very easy. So you can get parts of the machine within a week, and that's something unique.
Great. Okay, so now for the fun stuff.
Mhm.
This October, this
Mhm.
coming October, we are going to hold our worldwide summit in Rosenheim in Germany. I understand that this summit will be at the same time as the Oktoberfest.
Oh yes.
So it will be a perfect blend of business and pleasure, networking, brainstorming, and enjoying the vibrant atmosphere of Oktoberfest. Can you share your thoughts on this?
Well, there is like a special anniversary that we all have this year. It's 40 years of SolidCAM in general and
Wow.
30 years of SolidCAM GmbH. And this is, I would say, quite of a milestone that we are so long in the market that we are still adapting to the customer's needs. And this summit this year is actually also pretty special for me because this is the region and this region in Germany where I grew up. That means it's kind of a special one for me. And yes, it is during the Oktoberfest, which is not making it easier to hold this summit, but it will create a lot of fun. And we will have, beside all the official topics, a lot of fun stuff to do. And we are going to make sure that everybody will have a great time. And of course, there will be also nice evenings involved.
Of course, I think there'll be over 300 people joining.
Yeah, we are actually planning for almost 350. So we actually are ready and we are just finishing the agenda and all the fun activities. So yes, we are in the end phase of planning it and we are looking forward and we are so happy. And it's actually 2 weeks after the AMB exhibition, which is the most interesting exhibition this year here in Germany, and I would say also worldwide. At the same time, there is IMTS, and we as SolidCAM GmbH are exhibiting at the AMB, and our
Okay.
colleagues from SolidCAM US are actually at the IMTS as well. So we keep the two most important exhibitions worldwide are completely with SolidCAM, and this is something nice. And after that, of course, we will have our event. So this will be a lot of fun.
Wow, I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too.
Now, let me ask you a final question that I ask all my interviewees. How is it working with Emil so closely like you do?
Well, it would be cool if you have prepared me for this question, but I actually know exactly what I would like to answer. Working with email is something that actually taught me a lot. It taught me that you can speak to him. It doesn't matter which minute a day. It doesn't matter which kind of crazy idea you have. You can throw it out to email, and usually he is all in because he is. I don't even know how to explain how he really is working with him, but it's just great. It's actually a blessing. And I'm still quite young. Sometimes I don't look like this anymore, but I'm actually am.
Oh, you do,
And
you do.
learning from Emil how to push things in the right direction is something that helped me a lot in my management role. And to work side by side with him is still teaching me lessons every day. I have to admit that.
Yeah, it's Emil lets you throw any idea at him. He's always open for ideas at any
Exactly.
time of the day. So yeah, I agree with you.
And I talking to a lot of people who are also working for different companies, also in the software industry, and there is none one single CEO which gives his phone number to everybody and encourage them to call. It doesn't matter if day or night. And that's something amazing that you don't find often overall.
I know. People call him in the weekends at any hour of the day. I
Mhm.
know. I personally know.
Yeah, you should know. And I know as well because he's calling me also all the time. So, and
Yeah,
which is
I
good
know.
because we need to stay connected. And this whole market today is not just Germany, it's not just the US, it's not just Asia. Everything is somehow connected. And if we are all staying connected all the time, we can see the industry moving in different directions pretty soon. And this is where we can adapt because sometimes the automotive industry is struggling a bit, but aerospace is good. Sometimes aerospace is a little bit more down, but then medical is good. And so having this tight connection between all our branches, and email is, of course, the central point of it, is making us as a company being always this tiny bit ahead of the others in order to adapt, because listening to our customers is something that Emil always encourages us, and he did it since the company was founded. And we are still every day trying to communicate really effectively with our customers to hear, to get better, to see what's on the market is coming up next. And we try to create our toolpath for the technologies that are coming tomorrow. And this is kind of a cool thing about SolidCAM, that we are not stuck in any feedback loop or something like this. We are just doing it. And this is what our customers, I think, really love. And this is why they choose SolidCAM.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michael. This
You're
was
welcome.
really fascinating.
Thank
and keep on growing in SolidCAM. Listen, I don't know what your next step will be, but
let's just stay where I am at the moment. It's a lot of work, and I really
yeah,
appreciate it, and I enjoy it.
absolutely. So thank you. And that's a wrap. And listen in. And every 2 weeks, we have a podcast. So
I'm really
thank you,
curious who will be next, because this podcast is a lot of fun. Thank you,
Yeah.
Linda.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Bye.
Bye-bye.